So hello and welcome back all to another video tutorial from Genome Biotech. And as always, I'm your host, Dr. Nitin Wahi. In today's topic, we would be talking about which are the different types of energy transductions that takes place in a biochemical reactions. That how the energy transformation occurs in a biochemical reaction that we are going to look forward. So which type of energy transduction takes place and how these transactions occurs in the case of a biochemical reactions. So, what is bioenergetics? Bioenergetics is the branch of science that deals with energy transformations or energy transductions. That means transfer of energy from one molecule to another in the living world. When the energy is being transferred from one molecule to another in the living world, the subject of study is referred to as energetics. Okay, so energetics believes in the study of energy transformation taking place in the living world. So this type of study of energy transfer from one molecule to the other in the non-living world comes under the topic of thermodynamics. Thermodynamics is the branch of science that deals with energy exchanges in between the different molecules. Okay, so thermodynamics is that branch of science that deals with energy exchanges. And in the case of thermodynamics, the first law of thermodynamics state that the first law of thermodynamics states that energy is neither created nor destroyed, although it can be transformed from one form of the to the other. Okay, so thermodynamics principle states that energy can neither be created nor be destroyed, but it could be transformed from one form to the other. The thermodynamic principle can be understood from the formula. This principle can be understood from the formula delta H equals to delta Q minus delta W. Delta W refers to as the work done. Delta W here refers to as the work done. This is the formula which is being used. Delta H is referred to as the enthalpy. Delta Q is referred to as the heat energy change. So the heat energy change that takes place in the biological world is being represented by delta Q. This is the heat energy change. Delta W is the work done by the system. And delta Q is referred to as the internal energy of the system. So here you either write delta Q or you either write delta H. Del H equals to del Q minus del W. Now what is this del Q? Now supposingly you are heating a substance. मान लीजिए आप heat कर रहे हैं किसी substance को. Now supposingly you are heating a substance. Just a second. Let me draw this. Try to draw a structure. Now this is the beaker and you are heating this particular beaker. Okay, you are heating this particular beaker on the heater. Then work is done on the system. That means delta W will have a value of positive. Okay, and heat is going to be increased in the system. That means delta Q will also have a value that would be equivalent to positive. Okay, then what you calculate is that through this equation you calculate that delta Q is positive and delta W heat is done on the system. Okay, heat is done on the system. Then what you are going to get is just a second. When work is done on the system, you will get the work done on the system, that is work is done on the system positive, and there you would be able to calculate the value of delta H. Now in this principle of energetics, we must understand certain key important points. There are two different types of biochemical reactions that takes place in our body. मैं एक व्हाइट शीट ले रहा हूँ, उस व्हाइट शीट पे आपको भी कुछ और चीजें समझाने वाला हूँ. बड़े ही इंपॉर्टेंट कुछ कॉन्सेप्ट्स है जो मुझे आपको यहाँ पर बताने हैं. तो उस व्हाइट शीट के ऊपर हम इन कॉन्सेप्ट्स को समझेंगे. So in the case of biological world, what you find is that there are two different types of biological reactions. One is referred to as anabolic reactions. Another one is referred to as the catabolic reactions. Anabolic reactions are the one in which the molecules are being biosynthesized, and catabolic reactions are the one in which the molecules are being degraded. So there are basically two different types of biochemical reactions that takes place in the world. One is anabolic reactions, another one is catabolic reactions. Okay. Now, why I'm classifying it out, I will tell you. Catabolic reactions. Now, in the case of anabolic reactions, what happens? Molecules are biosynthesized. Okay. Here the molecules are being biosynthesized. Biomolecules are synthesized. Biomolecules are synthesized. In the case of catabolic reactions, the biomolecules are being degraded. They are not synthesized, they would be degraded. Here, this term is synthesized. Biomolecules are degraded. Biomolecules are degraded. When the biomolecules are being degraded, then what you find is that ATP will be produced. In the catabolic reactions, what happens? ATP molecules are produced. ATP molecules are produced. Okay, these molecules will be produced. And in the anabolic reactions, what is going to happen? ATP will be consumed. ATP will be consumed. Will be consumed. So this is what is going to happen in the biological world. Catabolic process include the digestive processes in which you digest the protein molecules. So all the digestive reactions are all included in the catabolic process. They release large amount of ATP molecules. Okay, so ATP molecules are being produced in such type of biochemical reactions. In the case of anabolic reactions, what include anabolic reactions include all the biosynthesis reaction, glycogen biosynthesis, or biosynthesis or protein biosynthesis. So all the different types of biochemical reaction or protein biosynthesis. So all these types of biosynthesis reactions that are going to take place in an organism body are being included in the anabolic reactions. All of these are being included in the anabolic reactions. So these are all referred to as the anabolic reactions which are present. Okay. So now moving forward, protein biosynthesis, photosynthesis, etc., etc. All of these are being included here. Okay, my voice is clear to all, majority of you students. And there are the catabolic reactions which are present. Now, catabolic reactions liberates energy, anabolic reactions utilize energy. There are certain reactions which are middle in between the anabolic and the catabolic reactions. Those reactions are commonly referred to as amphibolic reactions. Amphibolic reactions. Bolic reactions. Now, what do you mean by amphibolic reactions? I'm not very good at writing pad. I'm trying to improve with each and every class, but I'm not very good at writing pad. So please do excuse me for that. Amphibolic reactions are the reactions that are both anabolic as well as catabolic in nature. So amphibolic reactions are the reactions that are both anabolic as well as catabolic. So these reactions have the dual purpose. These reactions are both anabolic as well as catabolic in nature. Okay, so these are referred to as the amphibolic reactions. Okay, the example of such reactions include the glycolytic pathway, the process of cellular respiration, especially the Krebs cycle is actually an example of an amphibolic pathway, because it can lead to the biosynthesis of certain other molecules. So those are amphibolic pathways. Why I'm teaching you all. Now see, this is the biological world. That means in the case of biological world, why we are consuming large amount of food material, we are consuming all the large amount of food material in order to use that food material and to metabolize that food material in order to provide energy. It's a simple thing. So whatever food material you are consuming, actually what you are doing, you are oxidizing this entire food material and producing energy in the form of ATP. So this energy transformation comes under the principle of thermodynamics as well as bioenergetics. Okay, I will give you the recording version of the lecture also, so you don't need to have worry anything that you have to note it down or anything like that. You just try to understand. These are amphibolic reactions. Now, what I have to inform you, or I have to tell you is just a second. Where is the whiteboard? Okay, the whiteboard size is this one only. Now I will have to redraw this whiteboard because I will have to cross this up and take another whiteboard. Okay, so as I can make you understand all these types of reactions. So the different types of reactions that you are listening here, how those different types of reactions are going to take place, that we have to study. Now, in the biological world, when there are two different types of oxidation that can take place, one is cellular oxidation of food material and another one is atmospheric oxidation. So basically how the cellular breakdown of the food material differs from the atmospheric oxidation of the food material. By atmosphere में भी तो oxidation हो सकता है. In atmosphere also you can oxidize the food material. You just burn this food material with oxygen, and when you burn this food material with oxygen, it will also produce energy. For example, you just take a piece of paper. Take a piece of paper. Okay, you've taken a piece of paper. Okay, now this piece of paper contains bonds and hence it has certain conserved energy. This is a paper. Okay, now you crush this paper. You crush this paper into pieces. Okay, you chop this paper into small pieces. Okay, and provide this paper to a buffalo. That buffalo will convert this, will break down this carbohydrate and will produce the ATP. You can also directly burn this piece of paper. When you will burn this piece of paper, then also there would be heat and light which will be produced. Okay, heat and light will be produced in the same reaction. So what you are going to get here is that how I'm trying to answer one very important query: how cellular oxidation differs from biochemical, how cellular oxidation differs from the simple oxidation reaction, that is burning. So how does both these processes are different from each other? So that we are going to visualize that how these two processes are different from each other. तो किस तरीके से ये प्रोसेसेस डिफरेंट होते हैं, इसको अभी हम देखते हैं. यानी कि okay, if you have not noted down, you want to ask me something, then you can ask me from this particular point. Else I'm going to move forward and I would be differentiating in between the cellular oxidation of food material, and the atmospheric oxidation of food material, Please do not disconnect your connections because these will form the basis of biochemistry. Okay, atmospheric oxidation of food material. What will happen in the atmospheric oxidation of food materials? So that we have to see. Okay, so should I move forward? You can write in the chat box. There is chat box available. आप सभी चैट बॉक्स को यूज कर सकते हैं, लिख सकते हैं, बता सकते हैं. मैं अभी डिफरेंशिएट करने वाला हूं सेलुलर ऑक्सीडेशन और एटमॉस्फेरिक ऑक्सीडेशन, जिसे आप बर्निंग कहते हैं, उन दोनों के बीच में क्या अंतर होता है बायोलॉजिकल वर्ल्ड के अंदर. Okay, I'm moving forward. Please try to write something so that I can understand, that you are able to understand. If you have a query, you use the chat box. Okay, now moving forward. Now see, we are going to differentiate in between the two. We are going to differentiate in between the biological oxidation, as well as we are going to differentiate in between the atmospheric oxidation of the food material. So how does the atmospheric oxidation differs from biological oxidation of food material? Okay, so now look here. I would be dividing this sheet into sections. So I'll be teaching you in this particular section only. Then the other part will come here. Okay. Now please look here. We are going to divide the biological this into two parts. One would be biological oxidation, another one would be referred to as the atmospheric oxidation. Okay, so there are two different categories which we are going to make. Okay, one is going to be the biological oxidation. It will take time otherwise. One is referred to as the chemical oxidation. Just a second. Chemical oxidation. Okay, chemical oxidation. Okay, another one is referred to as biochemical oxidation. Biochemical oxidation. Now you look here at the diagram that I am going to draw so as to make you understand. See, there is a single piece of paper that you have fed the same piece of paper to a cow or a buffalo, and you have burned that same piece of paper, where you will get large amount of energy. This could be understood by a drawing. Okay, now I'm not very good at drawing, but still you can visualize these diagrams. Okay, so you have to understand which is this structure. So you can write in the tab box, in the text box, which is this structure that I have made in front of you. Okay, which is this structure? Can anybody predict which is this structure? Okay, so this is the structure of, this is the structure of a dam. Okay, this is the structure of a dam. ये एक पुल का, एक बांध का स्ट्रक्चर है. अरे यार सीधी लाइनें नहीं ड्रॉ हो रही. So this is the structure of a dam, and in the dam there are turbines which are linked, and turbines will move. Okay, when the turbine will move, it will produce electricity. Okay, and the electricity will be provided to a household, and to the houses the electricity will be provided, and these houses will be illuminated via these electricity. Okay, this is the electricity that should be provided to the house. Okay, so this is how electricity production takes place via a dam. Now this is what happens in the case of chemical oxidation. The entire amount of energy is directly being burned or oxidized into the atmosphere. In another case, that is in the case of biological world. Now you look what happens in the case of biological world. In the biological world, the same thing happens in a different manner. In the biological world, what is going to happen? This is how things work out in the biological world. Now water or the same molecule is going to fall in a step-by-step manner. Okay, ultimately coming to the lowest energy state. But in each and every step, supposingly there are springs which are there. There are springs which are attached. Now these springs will be pushed as the water molecule is going to move. Okay, there are spring-like structures which are attached, and they will conserve the energy, converting ADP molecules into ATP molecules. They will lead to the biosynthesis of ATP molecules. क्या बना देंगे ये? हर एक स्टेप पे, at every step in the biological world, the biochemical reactions will lead to the biosynthesis of the energy currency of the body. See, this is what happens in the case of biological oxidation. Biological oxidation is a slow process. Biological or biochemical oxidation, biological oxidation is a slow process, is a slow, regulated, step-by-step degradation pathway, step-by-step degradation pathway, step-by-step degradation pathway, involving cleavage of specific bonds in order to biosynthesize the energy currency of the body. It cleaves specific bonds. It cleaves specific bonds in order to release large amount of energy, in order to entrap the energy released. Now the energy that is being released could be entrapped in a biomolecule, and that biomolecule is ATP, adenosine triphosphate. It is this molecule in which the energy can be entrapped. That is why this ATP is commonly called as the energy currency of the body. Okay, because it entraps the energy released by several different biochemical reactions. As it will entrap the energy released from biochemical reactions. My writing is going crazy. Entrap energy released from biochemical reactions. Energy released from biochemical reaction, chemical reactions. So it is called the energy currency of the body. Energy currency of the body. Okay. of the body. So here it is referred to as energy currency. So because the degradation is taking place in a step-by-step manner, that is why large ATP will be entrapped. Okay, so here what happens? Larger ATP are being entrapped. Large amount of ATP is biosynthesized. Large amount of ATP is biosynthesized. ATP is biosynthesized in this biochemical reaction. This is what happens in the case of biochemical oxidation. Here large amount of energy will be produced, but that large amount of energy will be wasted. Now supposingly if you make the water to fall from here till down, it will of course produce large amount of energy, but that large amount of energy will be wasted in the form of sound, in the form of heat, in the form of other different forms of energy, but that cannot be converted into ATP. अगर पानी को आप ऊपर से गिराएंगे तो भाई पानी तो गिरेगा, उसके अंदर एनर्जी भी ज्यादा होगी और वो ज्यादा एनर्जी को एक ही बार में रिलीज भी कर देगा, लेकिन उस एनर्जी को बेटा आप एटीपी में कन्वर्ट नहीं कर पाओगे। देखो जब आप खाना खाते हो तो आपके बॉडी के एंजाइम्स उसे धीरे धीरे खाने को तोड़ते हैं और एटीपी को बनाते हैं। ऐसा नहीं होता जैसे कि आग लग जाए आपके अंदर से धुआं निकल रहा है, नहीं, ठीक है, ऐसा नहीं होता। ऐसा होता है chemical oxidation. In the case of chemical oxidation, fire comes and the molecules are getting directly converted into carbon dioxide, liberating very high amount of energy. But in the case of biochemical oxidation, it is always a step-by-step process that leads to the degradation of biomolecules. Okay, is this clear to all of you? Is this clear to all of you? किसी को कुछ नहीं समझ में आया तो पूछ सकता है, भाई चैट बॉक्स का यूज करें, कुछ बोले। मेरी आवाज आ रही है सब लोगों के पास में? मुझे ऐसा लग रहा है तुम लोग गायब हो गए, सो जाते हो मेरे लेक्चर में।
नहीं 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 बिल्कुल नहीं।
एनीबॉडी इज देयर?
यस सर, निहारिका इज हियर। हेलो,
हाँ बोलिए
सर, निहारिका इज हियर।
निहारिका, यू कैन यूज द चैट बॉक्स, डू नॉट स्पीक, बोलो मत, चैट बॉक्स यूज करो क्योंकि मैं सुन भी नहीं पाऊंगा, मैं माइक यूज कर रहा हूँ आप लोगों के लिए ताकि आप लोगों को सुनाई दे। ओके, सो नाउ वी आर मूविंग फॉरवर्ड। अब हम आगे बढ़ते हैं, मैं इसे डिलीट कर दे रहा हूं। मुझे एक और कॉन्सेप्ट बड़ा इंपॉर्टेंट आपको बताना है। द कॉन्सेप्ट इज दैट ऑफ डेल्टा जी। We have to study about a concept and that concept is that of Gibbs free energy. Please do not speak. Turn off your mic. Turn off your mic, please. Okay. Okay. Now, if you want, if you have any question, you can directly write in the chat box and I will answer your queries. Okay. Now, moving forward. The concept of delta G or the concept of Gibbs free energy. Concept of Gibbs free energy. Concept of Gibbs free energy. Just a second. Concept of Gibbs free energy. Okay, when you are going to talk about the concept of the Gibbs free energy, then you talk about delta G. What is delta G? Delta G refers to as the Gibbs free energy. Okay, we all know that this is referred to as the Gibbs free energy. But what is this delta G or what is G? G refers to as the Gibbs free energy. It is the total amount of energy that is present to do useful work. The total amount of energy present to do useful work. Okay, I'm not going with the definitions. Let me tell you certain things. Now, supposingly there are reactions taking place. Okay, supposingly there is a molecule that is A, and this A molecule is getting converted into B. Supposingly, or you can say that there is a stone which you have thrown, and this stone moves to the bottom of your towards the land from your house floor. You have thrown a stone. That stone will come down to the land. आपने यहाँ पर छत पे खड़े होकर एक पत्थर फेंक दिया, ये पत्थर नीचे आ जाएगा। Which type of reaction this is? This reaction is a spontaneous reaction. What do you mean by spontaneous reaction? The reaction that occurs by itself is said to be the spontaneous reaction. Okay, the reaction that occurs by itself is referred to as the spontaneous reaction. We always know that in the case of a spontaneous reaction, the value of delta G is negative. what you have to understand is that this spontaneous reaction always takes place by itself. As the spontaneous reaction always takes place by itself, it has a value of delta G negative. Delta G is being calculated by a formula delta G equals to del H minus T del S. Now, what I am going to tell you here is that now because the spontaneous reactions are taking place by itself, so these are the only reactions that can produce ATP. Very important point. देखो वही रिएक्शन एटीपी को बना सकती है जो रिएक्शन खुद ब खुद हो जाए. You can form ATP only from those reactions which can occur spontaneously. And which reaction is going to occur spontaneously? That reaction will occur spontaneously in which the energy of A will far exceed the energy of B. That means the graph will be like this. The energy of A is higher and the energy of B is lower. Then you can see this. This is A substrate and this is the B product. Then what is going to happen? The delta G is going to be negative. Such type of reactions will have a difference in between their Gibbs free energy. The free energy of the A molecule is more, and the B molecule is less. That means the difference will be present in the form of delta G that would be used for the biosynthesis of ATP molecule. Now what we have to understand from here is that I am taking a sheet of paper. मैं अब आपको लिपिनकॉट पे लेके चल रहा हूँ. We are all moving towards Lippincott, and we must understand these thermodynamic and other different types of principle through understanding this value of free energy. This is the free energy concept that we were talking about. We were talking about this free energy concept just here. Look here. Free energy change. The change in the free energy is represented as del G or del G naught. If there is a change in the energy of the substrate or the product, then that change is being designated as delta G. जो change होता है substrate और product की energy में, उसे हम क्या कहते हैं? Then it is referred to as delta G. Now, see, there is a substrate that is referred to as A substrate. Okay, this is a substrate, this is a reactant, and now this reactant is converting into a product, and this is the product that is referred to as B product. So A reactant has a higher energy and B product has a lower energy. Then what is going to happen? Then the Gibbs free energy for the reaction will be highly negative. So the Gibbs free energy for this particular reaction in which the substrate A is getting converted into B is large and it is negative in nature. Changes in the free energy of the reaction is large and it is negative. Okay. So this is delta G, and delta G is negative because substrate has a higher energy and product has a lower energy. It is this energy gap that is being used for the biosynthesis of ATP molecule. यही वो energy gap है. It is this energy gap only that will lead to the biosynthesis of a molecule of ATP. Okay. That means it is always the spontaneous reaction that leads to the biosynthesis of molecules such as ATP. Now let us look at another type of reaction which is being shown here, and that reaction is referred to as non-spontaneous reaction. Sorry, I must delete that particular point. This is what we have shown in our first diagram. Just deleting it out. Now moving to the next reaction. In the next reaction, in the next point, what we are going to get is, you look here, see, B is getting converted into A. There is a substrate B getting converted into a product A, and the substrate has low energy. The product has high energy. So how can this reaction take place? This reaction will not take place spontaneously. So this reaction has a delta G that is positive. So this reaction for the molecule B to convert into A, it must pass through a gap that is present. It must have certain amount of energy present within itself, and this is the activation energy barrier. This would be the activation energy barrier that would be present. Activation energy का एक barrier होगा. What would be the activation energy barrier? this much would be the activation energy barrier that this B substrate must overcome and must reach towards the A molecule. Okay, it must overcome this particular barrier so as to reach the substrate molecules A. Okay, so this is how the barrier is being overcome. Now here what is going to happen? How can you proceed the non-spontaneous reaction? Non-spontaneous reaction को हम कराएंगे कैसे? Because see, this delta G is positive. Such non-spontaneous reaction normally do not take place. So what will happen? How this non-spontaneous reaction will take place in the body? Such non-spontaneous reaction will take place in the body by providing ATP. By providing ATP. Providing ATP. Okay. Now I'm taking certain examples of these spontaneous and non-spontaneous reaction. You provide ATP and you move from B to A. Now, let us take some of the examples of the spontaneous and non-spontaneous reactions. Now, first case, to pass an examination, to get failed in an examination is a spontaneous reaction. Anybody can go in the examination hall and just fail it out. So that is referred to as a spontaneous reaction. Exam में fail हो जाना क्या है? Spontaneous reaction, अपने आप हो जाता है, कोई मेहनत की जरूरत नहीं पड़ती. To get pass in an examination, oh my dear, this is a non-spontaneous reaction. It will require ATP, your hard work. It will require ATP because you have to pass in an examination. So it requires ATP. It requires work, and then only you can convert a low substrate, low energy containing substrate molecule to a high energy containing product. Okay, now see, if you have to go to any Indian office to make your driving license, then which type of reaction is it? It is a non-spontaneous reaction. The clerk will say, today we are very busy. Our staff is very less due to corona. You just gave him ATP molecules in the form of 500 rupees. He will say, definitely your work will be done. आप किसी भी जगह पे जाएं गवर्नमेंट ऑफिस में, बोले कि मुझे अपना ड्राइविंग लाइसेंस बनाना है, तो बोलेगा ये नॉन स्पॉन्टेनियस रिएक्शन है, आज नहीं हो सकती, तुरंत एटीपी दो, देखो भाग के रिएक्शन होगी. At once the reaction is going to take place. So see, what I am trying to tell you is that in the case of spontaneous reaction, energy is liberated and ATP is produced. ATP produced. In the case of non-spontaneous reaction, ATP is consumed. Okay, this is how the different reactions takes place in our body. If there is a non-spontaneous reaction, you just give it ATP and the reaction will take place. तो जो काम नहीं हो रहा है उसके लिए हम क्या कर देते हैं? हम गिफ्ट दे देते हैं. हम उसके लिए क्या कर देते हैं? गिफ्ट दे देते हैं. हम उसके लिए क्या कर देते हैं? शॉपिंग करा देते हैं और वो काम हो जाता है. This is how the non-spontaneous reaction gets converted into a spontaneous reaction in the biological world. Now see this. अगले पेज पे चलते हैं. बड़ा ही इंपॉर्टेंट कॉन्सेप्ट आने वाला है आपके पास में. वो कॉन्सेप्ट क्या है? वो कॉन्सेप्ट ये है, यहां देखेंगे हम लोग. Now see, there is a non-spontaneous reaction. Then how the non-spontaneous reaction is going to work? For example, you look here. There are two reactions which are being described here. There are two different biological reactions which are being described here. This weight is moving down. एक weight लगा दिया है. This weight is attached to a gear. This weight will cause the movement of the gear to take place. Weight क्या करेगा? Gear को move करेगा. As the weight will cause the movement of the gear to take place, so the weight will move towards down. So this is a favorable reaction. This is a spontaneous reaction. Okay, this is a spontaneous reaction. Spontaneous reaction. Okay. Now another. Now you have to take a weight from below to a particular height. Then this reaction will become non-spontaneous. This reaction will become non-spontaneous. Okay, so such type of reaction which is present is referred to as non-spontaneous reaction. Okay, so such type of reactions are said to be non-spontaneous. Then how can you perform such type of reactions in biological world? Just combine them with a spontaneous reaction. This is the answer. Now see this. You can perform non-spontaneous reaction in the biological world by combining these non-spontaneous reaction with spontaneous reaction. स्पॉन्टेनियस रिएक्शन के साथ में नॉन स्पॉन्टेनियस रिएक्शन को मिला दो तो नॉन स्पॉन्टेनियस रिएक्शन हो जाएगी. Now see this, you just attach this weight here and look at this particular system. Because this weight is quite heavy, as this weight is going to be quite heavy, so it will pull the pulley towards down. As it will pull the pulley towards down, so this weight will go above. Okay, so this one was in spontaneous reaction, the green color was in spontaneous reaction, this one was a non-spontaneous reaction. You just uses the energy produced by the spontaneous reaction in order to catalyze non-spontaneous reaction in the biological world. Note, dear all students, this is very important. In the biological world, in the I just didn't know what has happened. This is quite a big text. In the biological world, in the biological world, can I reduce its font size? Just if I can. I didn't know. Just a second. In the biological world, the non-spontaneous reactions, are performed in combination with the spontaneous reactions. So it is always the spontaneous reaction that drives the non-spontaneous reaction in the biological world. So the non-spontaneous reaction can be made spontaneous by combining it with a spontaneous reaction. जो रिएक्शन कभी भी नहीं हो सकती थी ना बेटा, वो रिएक्शन भी हो जाती है जब जो कभी रिएक्शन नहीं हो सकती उसे उस रिएक्शन के साथ में मिला दें जो हमेशा होती है. This is how the reaction takes place. Okay, now see a very important point. Strategy number 2. If you want to invite a friend and want to make a friend with someone, then what you will have to do? You will have to invite the friend of that particular girl to your place, and this is how you can perform the non-spontaneous reaction along with the spontaneous reaction. Strategy number 2. अगर आप किसी से दोस्ती करना चाहते हो तो आप उसकी दोस्त से दोस्ती कर लो और उसकी दोस्त को पार्टी में बुला लो और बोल दो अपनी दोस्त को जरूर लेके आना. दिस इज हाउ द प्रोसेस टेक्स प्लेस. यानी कि नॉन स्पॉन्टेनियस रिएक्शन को कराने के लिए तुमने क्या किया? तुमने स्पॉन्टेनियस रिएक्शन को करा दिया और स्पॉन्टेनियस के साथ में तुमने नॉन स्पॉन्टेनियस रिएक्शन भी करा दी. जो नहीं हो सकता था हमने वो भी बायोलॉजिकल वर्ल्ड में करा दिया. Any doubt, any problem that you have, if you want a reaction to take place that was non-spontaneous, you mix it with a spontaneous reaction, uses the energy of the spontaneous reaction to catalyze the non-spontaneous reaction. This is how it should be done. Any doubt, any problem? Any doubt, any problem? Are you able to understand anything? Dear all students, are you able to understand the things or not? I am a bit worried about you all. Hello, no problem. Okay, Likita, no doubt. Clear all. Oh, Neetu, it's all clear. So, okay. So good. Shalu, where are you? Okay, Shalu, is this clear to you? Okay. Priyanshi, no queries. Chavi, no queries. Shalu, no problem. Okay, so this is absolutely clear to you all. Now, let me move to the notes that you have. And in these notes, everything is being given. We must move in a serial-wise manner and understand all the different concepts that I have just told you. In the biological world, the second law of thermodynamics states that the entropy of a system must increase with each biochemical reaction. As every biochemical reaction takes place, so the entropy of the biological world always increases. Entropy refers to the degree of randomness. So the degree of randomness is always going to be increased in the biological world. In the biological world, degree of randomness is going to be increased. So with every reaction, the value of delta S or the entropy changes always increases. So this value always increases with the entropy changes that are going to take place. Okay. Now moving forward, just a second. Now we are going to move forward. See, free energy. What is Gibbs free energy? Free energy or Gibbs free energy indicate the portion of the total energy of a system that is available to do useful work is called as Gibbs free energy. The total amount of energy that is available to do useful work in the biological system is called as free energy. And the changes that takes place in between the free energy is called as delta G. Delta G refers to as the changes that occurs in the free energy. So free energy changes, for example, there is a biochemical reaction that is going to take place. A is getting converted into B. Then the energy changes that will take place is referred to as delta G equals to G Gibbs free energy of A minus Gibbs free energy of B. That would be referred to as change in the Gibbs free energy, and that is referred to as delta G. Okay. Now moving forward, the delta G is being calculated with the help of a formula. The formula used is delta G equals to del H minus T del S. One of the most important formula used in the case of biological world in the biological reactions. देखो डेल्टा जी इक्वल्स टू डेल एच माइनस टी डेल एस वाला फॉर्मूला को हम यूज करते हैं डेल्टा जी की वैल्यू को डिटरमाइन करने। ना डेल्टा जी कैन हैव थ्री डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ वैल्यूज. Which are the three different types of values the delta G might have? It can have a value that would be equivalent to plus non-spontaneous, del G plus, del G minus spontaneous, or the third type, del G equal to 0 at equilibrium, at equilibrium, at equilibrium, equilibrium, in which there is no effect which is being produced on the molecule, in which the reaction will take place only when ATP is consumed. The ATP can be produced in such type of reactions. Now, del H refers to as the enthalpy change that takes place in such type of reaction. Del H refers to as the changes in the enthalpy in such type of reaction. And T refers to as the absolute temperature. And this absolute temperature is measured in the Kelvin unit. Okay. Now what we have to study is about the concept of delta G. Please, I'm just going through these concepts just in a manner to make you all revise. Delta G is negative. The reaction proceeds spontaneously with loss of energy. Okay, this is very important. With loss of energy. That means this is the reaction that will produce ATP. Now this is what I'm trying to tell you. See, if delta G is negative, okay, please, just I would be writing here only. If delta G is negative, this means that the reaction will proceed faster, okay, and will liberate energy. Will liberate energy. Now, what is the energy which is present in ATP? Every ATP molecule has approx minus 30.5 kilojoule per mole of energy. Okay. So if in any biochemical or spontaneous reaction, this much amount of energy is being produced, if in any biochemical reaction, this much amount of energy will be produced, then it will produce ATP molecule. It will produce ATP. Okay. If this much amount of energy is not being produced, then it will not produce ATP. Now see this. if this is a substrate molecule A having high energy, and there is a molecule which is B, and the B molecule is present here, the product having low energy. If the difference in between the A and B product, their delta G difference is greater than minus 30.5 kilojoule per mole, then only an ATP molecule will be produced in this reaction, else not. ये बड़ा important है. This is very, very important. Majority of the student thinks that if a reaction which is negative, which is spontaneous, which has a value of negative, okay, if delta G is equals to negative, then such type of reaction will always produce ATP. No, such type of reaction may or may not produce ATP. If the difference in energy of the substrate and the product is greater than minus 30.5 kilojoule per mole, then it will produce ATP, else not. फिर से इंग्लिश में समझा रहा हूं, पहले फिर हिंदी में समझाऊंगा. If the difference in between the Gibbs free energy of A minus Gibbs free energy of B, if it is greater than minus 30.5 kilojoule per mole, then only ATP molecules will be produced. If this difference is not like this, if the difference is very low, if this is an A molecule, this is a B molecule, this is also a spontaneous reaction, but the difference, let the difference of delta G be equal to minus 10, then it will not produce, no ATP will be produced. No ATP produced. There will be no ATP produced. Why? Because the delta G difference is very less. हिंदी में समझिए. देखिए एटीपी का प्रोडक्शन जब ही हो सकता है जब बेटा सबस्ट्रेट और प्रोडक्ट के बीच में एनर्जी डिफरेंस ज्यादा हो. कितना ज्यादा हो? कम से कम 30.5 किलोजूल पर मोल से तो ज्यादा ही हो, क्योंकि इतनी ही एनर्जी एक एटीपी मॉलिक्यूल में होती है. जब वो एटीपी एडीपी में टूटता है तो इतनी एनर्जी देता है, तो कम से कम इतनी तो, इससे ज्यादा तो एनर्जी होनी चाहिए, क्योंकि दुनिया में कोई भी रिएक्शन परफेक्ट नहीं होती. तो इतनी एनर्जी होगी तभी, इतनी एनर्जी का डिफरेंस होगा तभी एक स्पॉन्टेनियस रिएक्शन एटीपी बना पाएगी. अगर मान लो एक स्पॉन्टेनियस रिएक्शन है, ए बी के अंदर कन्वर्ट हो रहा है, लेकिन दोनों के बीच में जो एनर्जी डिफरेंस है वो केवल -10 का है, तो क्या ये एटीपी बना लेगी? नहीं. डिफरेंस तो कितने का होना चाहिए? -30 से ज्यादा का. ये एटीपी नहीं बना पाएगी. This reaction won't be able to form the ATP molecule, and only such type of reactions will form the ATP molecule. See this? If delta G is negative, this means that the reaction will proceed at a faster rate and will liberate energy, but it will produce ATP molecules only when the value of del G, I cannot make delta G is above minus 30.5 kilojoule per mole. Okay, if this is the value, then only the large amount of energy is going to be produced. Okay, so that's the most important note. You must note it down here in your note, in your copies. And dear students, you have still not given me the address. All these notes are ready. We would be delivering all these notes to your home addresses. आप सभी को ये सारे के सारे नोट्स आपके घर के एड्रेस पर मिलेंगे, तो आपको पोस्ट कर दिए जाएंगे और आपको घर पे मिल जाएंगे. ठीक है, तो हमारी तरफ से नोट्स रेडी हैं. अगर आप मेरे को अपना घर का एड्रेस दे देंगे, इफ यू कैन प्रोवाइड मी योर एड्रेस, I will send all the notes to you at your home address also. Okay, so that is the facility that we would be providing. Okay, and no extra charges will be there. Okay, so that's the most important thing. Now the other is del G is positive. Okay, you have noted it down or not? You have noted it down. You will also get the recording of the lecture. From the recording of the lecture you can also note it down, so there is no problem at all. Now see there, look here, delta G is positive. The reaction proceed only if free energy is gained. Now see this. This reaction is like our government offices. The delta G is positive. You reach into government office at any time, they will be either doing their lunch, and if you are going to a bank, then their connectivity will be lost. Oh my dear, connectivity is not there. आज connectivity नहीं आ रही है, इसलिए काम नहीं हो पाएगा. Then you give them ATP molecules. Okay, you just take ATP molecules along with you, provide ATP molecules. Okay, ATP molecule is being provided to such type of reaction. Then what is going to happen? Connectivity aa gayi, connectivity came, and the reaction is going to proceed at a much faster rate. Such type of reactions are referred to as endergonic reactions. These reactions are just like our government offices. They will work only when the ATP, external ATP, is being provided, as it's they are not going to work. And then there are the third type. These are referred to as delta G equal to 0, the greatest of all time. This is the government post office, which do not have any roof. ये हमारा पोस्ट ऑफिस है जिसकी छत ही नहीं होती, जिसके अंदर एक कुर्सी होती है जो बाल काटने वाले की कुर्सी लगती है, ठीक है. So this is the case of a government post office on which there is no roof. There is only a single chair which resembles the chair of a barber, and you find that there would be a person of the age 80 years plus age sitting who is always at equilibrium. Neither he can listen to you nor he can work for anything. Neither you gave him ATP, he will not work. You cannot extract out the money from the post office. You cannot do anything with the post office. And even if you have to make a speed post, you will say go to the speed post office. Or even if you have to make a simple post, you will say put your post in that red color box, and that would be made. So it's just sitting there at complete equilibrium. Then such type of reactions are said to be at equilibrium. आप पोस्ट ऑफिस में जाते हैं, कुछ भी काम कहोगे तो वो बोल देगा अपने आप कर लो, ठीक है. This is the person is at equilibrium. So both forward and reverse reactions are taking place at equal rate. Then such type of reactions are said to be at equilibrium. A is getting converted into B and B is getting converted into A at the same rate. This is how reaction is at equilibrium. Majority of the students have a brain which is always at equilibrium. Whatever I am teaching to them in a forward direction, they are just dumping the materials in the reverse direction and are always at equilibrium with each other. हमारे कुछ महान स्टूडेंट्स वो हमेशा इक्विलिब्रियम पे रहते हैं. जितना मैं पढ़ाता हूं वो उतना भुला देते हैं और फिर वो हमेशा इक्विलिब्रियम पे बने रहते हैं. नालायकों, तभी तो बोल रहा हूं पढ़ लो, ठीक है. So now see this. Delta G for a reaction A to B depends upon the concentration of the reactant and the product. So delta G of the reaction depends upon the concentration of reactant as well as the product. And delta G can be tabulated by using a formula del G equals to del G naught plus RT ln B upon A. What is this ln? Ln is not the natural logarithm, and so replacing it with a natural logarithm will give you as a formula del G equals to del G naught minus 2.303 RT log product upon reactant. Log product upon this would be plus 2.303 RT log K equilibrium. K equilibrium equals to product upon reactant. One would be the product, another one would be the reactant molecule. This is the reactant molecule. So this is how the calculations are being done. Now this formula will be used to make the calculations in the case of an enzymatically catalyzed reaction. And in the case of an enzymatically catalyzed reaction, we have to calculate the different things by using this particular formula. Now let us solve a question which has been asked in both IIT JAM as well as in higher level entrance examination. Just a second, if you are noting this all down. Any query that you have, any query, किसी को कुछ पूछना है तो बेटा पूछ लो, डरने की कोई जरूरत नहीं है. तो अगर आप पूछना चाह रहे हैं, कोई कुछ पूछना चाह रहा है, anybody wants to ask anything, you guys are not asking anything. I'm really worried about you. Shalu, any problem? Nikita, Ankita, Achal, Likhita, Neetu, Priyanshi, Shalu, Trishla, Chavi, any problem? Okay, sir, difference between delta G and delta G naught. This is very important. Now see, this is a difference. There are three different types of delta G that I'm going to tell you here. Now see this. This is G. Okay, there is another query by someone. Yes. I'm coming to your queries one by one. First, I will take the question of Likita because it has come first. Then I will take the question of Priyanshi also. Okay. Now see this. That when you see when you say that G is referred to as beta Gibbs free energy. Gibbs free energy. Okay. Gibbs free energy. Please do excuse me for this very bad handwriting. I'm not comfortable with this letter pad. I will buy another letter pad for the same. Delta G is referred to as changes in the Gibbs free energy. Changes associated with the Gibbs free energy. Changes in the Gibbs free energy. Okay. This is referred to as delta G. Okay. Now look here, Likita. Del G naught is referred to as, or you can put the naught here. Del G naught is referred to as standard change in Gibbs free energy. Standard change in Gibbs free energy. Change in Gibbs free energy. Now what is going to happen? In the case of standard change in Gibbs free energy, this standard change is being calculated at a temperature of 298 Kelvin and at atmospheric pressure of 1 atm at a pH of 7 pH. When you are going to calculate the value of delta G at 298 Kelvin, 1 atmospheric pressure and at 7 pH, then what you are going to get is del G naught. Okay. And when you are going to calculate changes in Gibbs free energy under biological conditions, that is, when this is standard Gibbs free energy, this is standard change in Gibbs free energy. I'm putting this inverted commas. That means the above thing is holding true here also. So that is why I'm reading standard changes in Gibbs free energy in biological world. In biological world. Okay, what is this? In the case of biological world, in your own body, you have a pH of, your blood pH is 7.36 to 7.42 or 7.45. Okay, 7.42. Let's take it is 7.42. So this pH is completely different from the pH of standard Gibbs free energy. In your body, the body temperature is 37 degrees Celsius. Okay, so this temperature is different from the room temperature. That is why in the body the Gibbs free energy gets altered to standard change in Gibbs free energy under biological conditions. Under biological, in the biological world is referred to as delta G naught dash. Now understand in Hindi. देखो G का मतलब क्या होता है? गिब्स फ्री एनर्जी. डेल G का मतलब क्या होता है बेटा? चेंजेस जो गिब्स फ्री एनर्जी के अंदर हो रहे हैं उन्हें हम क्या बोलते हैं? डेल्टा G. चेंजेस इन द गिब्स फ्री एनर्जी. जो चेंज गिब्स फ्री एनर्जी के अंदर हो रहे हैं 25 डिग्री सेल्सियस पे आपके रूम टेम्परेचर पे, 1 एटमॉस्फेरिक के प्रेशर पे, 7 pH पे, उसे हम क्या बोलते हैं? दैट इज रेफर्ड टू ए स्टैंडर्ड चेंज इन गिब्स फ्री एनर्जी. Now, standard change in Gibbs free energy is taking place in the biological world. In the biological world, if standard change in Gibbs free energy is going to take place, then that is referred to as del G naught. Okay. The pH of the solution, pH of the blood is 7.36 to 7.42, and the temperature of the blood is, and the temperature of your body is 37 degrees Celsius. That is why the delta G will be replaced with del G naught. Likita, any doubt? Likita, is delta G is G, delta G, del G naught and del G naught dash clear to you? Now I am going towards the next query. The next query was that of, tell me once the difference between entropy and Gibbs free energy. Yes, Trishla, I will come to your point also. Now the next question is that of Priyanshi. Likita, do you are able to understand the solution or not? At least you can say something, because I've told you that answer now. That is why I'm asking. Okay, yes. Now, Priyanshi, sir, do entropy and enthalpy also depends upon the concentration of reactant and product. Now, see what we have studied here. Now, no, see in this particular reaction, what is going to happen? The heat energy change and the change in the temperature will determine the entropy changes that are going to take place. In the case of enthalpy, again, the heat energy is going to determine the enthalpy changes. See this, del H equals to del Q minus del W. So basically what your question says that is, what was your question? Just a second. The question says that entropy and enthalpy also depends upon concentration of reactant and product. No, but actually, dear, when the concentrations are going to be changed, मान लो पहले कुछ और कंसंट्रेशन थी, अब तुमने कोई और कंसंट्रेशन ले ली रिएक्टेंट ऑफ प्रोडक्ट की, तो हीट एनर्जी चेंज हो जाएगा कि नहीं? डेल क्यू की वैल्यू चेंज हो जाएगी ना. सी प्रियांशी, इफ यू हैव टेकन in one reaction different concentration of the substrate and the product, so product will also be produced in different concentration. In another, you have taken very large concentration of the substrate, then the amount of energy that will be released or consumed in the first reaction will differ from the energy released or consumed in the other reaction. अगर प्रियांशी तुमने दो एक्सपेरिमेंट किए, एक में तुमने कम सबस्ट्रेट लिया, एक में ज्यादा, और मान लो ये एक्सोथर्मिक रिएक्शन है, तो बेटा जिसमें कम सबस्ट्रेट लिया है उसमें कम एनर्जी निकलेगी, जिसमें ज्यादा सबस्ट्रेट लिया है उसमें ज्यादा एनर्जी निकलेगी. तो और ये जो डेल्टा एच की वैल्यू है ना, ये कंप्लीट रिएक्शन के ऊपर डिपेंड करती है, इसके अंदर कहीं भी मोल्स वगैरह कुछ भी नहीं है. तो जिसमें ज्यादा एनर्जी निकल रही है उसकी वैल्यू डेल्टा एच की अलग हो गई. तो देखो बेटा, क्लियरली बात है, डायरेक्टली तो ये सबस्ट्रेट की कंसंट्रेशन पे डिपेंड नहीं कर रहा, लेकिन सबस्ट्रेट की कंसंट्रेशन कितना ज्यादा सबस्ट्रेट है ये इस डेल्टा एच को चेंज करने लग जाएगी. इस बात को ऐसे समझिए, केमिस्ट्री के अंदर अगर आपको याद हो, जो सोडियम आयंस होते थे, द सोडियम आयंस व्हिच आर प्रेजेंट इन केमिस्ट्री क्लास, they were always kept dipped under kerosene. If you take one sodium ion just outside the kerosene, it will burn. Now you are going to, in the next case, you are going to take large sodium ion out of the kerosene, then that will burn for a much longer period of time. So the value of delta H changes. Similarly, the value of delta S will also change. So the correct answer to your query will be yes, definitely. When you are going to change the concentration of the reactant and the product, the enthalpy and entropy will change. Okay, but for a particular reaction it is always constant. Priyanshi, are you able to get my answer? Okay, एक रिएक्शन के लिए कांस्टेंट रहेगा, लेकिन अगर आपने सबस्ट्रेट और रिएक्टेंट को बदल दिया है तो उसी रिएक्शन के लिए बेटा अलग भी हो जाएगा. Now coming back to the question from Trishla. Okay, sir, please tell me once the difference between entropy and Gibbs free energy. Now see, this is very important, Trishla, what you are asking. Gibbs free energy refers to the total amount of energy which is present in a molecule. That means whatever energy it is present, whether it is potential, kinetic, electrostatic, or physiochemical, any energy that is present, the sum total of all the energy which is present in the molecule is referred to as Gibbs free energy that could be used to perform a particular work. The energy that is available in a molecule that could be used to perform a particular work is referred to as the Gibbs free energy. Whereas when you are going to define entropy, entropy will be the one that will be the amount of reaction, the amount of energy that will be associated with the biochemical reaction. कोई एक बायोकेमिकल रिएक्शन के साथ में जो एनर्जी एसोसिएटेड है उसे आप बोलोगे एंट्रोपी. Okay, the energy that would be associated with a particular biochemical reaction, that would be referred to as entropy. Entropy increases as the temperature increases and entropy decreases as the temperature decreases. Okay, so supposingly if there is a molecule which is not heated or which is not cooled down, अब एक सब्सटेंस है जिसको ना तो तुम हीट कर रही हो ना तुम कूल कर रही हो, तो उसके एंट्रोपी में तो कोई चेंज नहीं आ रहा. लेकिन अगर वो सब्सटेंस क्या कर रहा है, एक हाइट पे था, कम हाइट पे आ गया तो उसकी गिब्स फ्री एनर्जी में चेंज आ गया बेटा, टोटल एनर्जी चेंज हो गई। ठीक है, तो एंट्रोपी जो है वो एक पर्टिकुलर रिएक्शन के लिए है। सो एंट्रोपी measures the system thermal energy per unit temperature that is unavailable for doing any useful work, और गिब्स फ्री एनर्जी क्या मेजर करता है, द अमाउंट ऑफ एनर्जी दैट इज अवेलेबल टू डू यूजफुल वर्क। मैं सभी को आंसर दे दे रहा हूं, ये बड़ा अच्छा क्वेश्चन था। यहां देखिए, entropy is the measure of a system thermal energy per unit temperature that is unavailable to do useful work, that is not available, while Gibbs free energy is the amount of energy that is available to do useful work. This is the amount of energy that is available to do useful work. Now you look here. So here you can say that the total energy will be equivalent to the entropy plus Gibbs free energy. This would be the total energy of the molecule. And enthalpy will involve the changes that are going to take place while the system is being heated or while the system is being cooled off. जब सिस्टम को आप हीट करोगे या कूल करोगे, उस टाइम पे जो एनर्जी चेंज हो रही है वो आपकी इंथैल्पी के अंदर आ जाएगी। Please explain entropy. Entropy is the degree of randomness. Entropy is the degree of randomness. Degree of randomness present in the molecules. Now, supposingly, if a molecule falls from a particular place, then that molecule will liberate large amount of energy. That is referred to as entropy. Okay. And what happens in the case of enthalpy? The total amount of heat energy that is present in a molecule is referred to as its enthalpy, total amount of heat energy. Okay, and the total free energy that is present. Now the total heat minus the total entropy, the energy that will be wasted, will be equal to the changes which are being associated with the Gibbs free energy. In the last case, when the Gibbs free energy is equivalent to 0, the reaction is at equilibrium. Okay. Anyone has any doubt? Any other problem? किसी को कुछ पूछना है तो पूछ सकता है। माइक पे भी कुछ पूछना चाहते हो तो पूछ सकते हो। मैं माइक को अनम्यूट कर दे रहा हूं आपको। किसी को कुछ पूछना है, जस्ट टेल मी, आई विल अनम्यूट ऑल। त्रिशला कुछ पूछना चाहते हो? मैं एक एक करके सभी से डिस्कस कर रहा हूं। आई वुड बी डिस्कसिंग दिस थिंग्स विद ईच एंड एवरी वन। Anybody wants to ask anything, you can directly ask me. No problem. Priyanshi, do you want to ask anything or should I move forward?
No, sir. Move forward.
Hello. Trishla?
No queries, sir.
Okay, just a second. Now please speak.
No queries, sir.
Okay, Trishla, no problem. So should I move forward? You can write in the chat also.
Yes, sir. Go
Okay.
ahead.
Now moving forward, now supposingly there is a reaction that is going to take place. There is delta G, the Gibbs free energy of the reaction. It is being calculated by using this particular formula that I have already told you. This B is the product, and del G equals to del G naught plus 2.303 RT log product upon reactant. So A is the reactant and B is the product that is going to take part in this particular reaction. Standard Gibbs free energy. See, this is what Likhita you asked me. See, when you are going to calculate the value of delta G at a solute concentration of of 1 molar at a temperature of 25 degrees Celsius and under 1 atmospheric pressure, the free energy change will correspond to this standard energy state is referred to as del G naught. This is referred to as del G naught. Del G naught is something different from del G. Del G is changes in Gibbs free energy. Okay, under standard condition is called as del G naught. Okay, so changes associated with Gibbs free energy under standard condition is called as del G naught. Moving forward, now relationship between del G naught and K Kluber. Okay, so what is the basic relationship between del G naught and K Kluber? Now, for a reaction, if A is the substrate and this substrate is getting converted into B product, we know that the equilibrium constant, K equilibria for this reaction, the K equilibria for this reaction will be equal to product upon reactant. So this is what it is. It is product upon reactant. So B, you are going, just a second. So this would be the product that would be produced. This is the product. And here what you are going to get is a reactant. Just a second, product upon reactant. So that is why, what is the product? B is the product. And so B is present above and reactant is present below. Okay. Now, see, in the other reaction, if the reaction A is equals to B is allowed. Now, if in a reaction A is equal to B, if the concentration of A and B are both equal, then what is going to happen? If A is going to be equivalent to B, then the value of delta G would be equivalent to 0. It will have a value that would be equivalent to 0. Okay. Now moving forward. Just a second. Let me rub all these annotations. Now, in the next equation, what we are going to get is, we have calculated the value of delta G. There are 3 different values of delta G that are possible. The 3 different values of delta G which are possible is when the value of delta G is equivalent to negative. When the value of delta G is equivalent to negative, the reaction will proceed in a spontaneous direction. When the value of delta G equals to 0, the reaction will remain at equilibrium. When the reaction of delta G is positive, the reaction will be reverted back. The reaction will move back in reverse direction. Del G is also being calculated by using the formula minus RT log K equilibrium. Okay, del G equals to minus RT divided by log K equilibrium. Okay, so this K equilibrium is product upon reactant. Okay, so this, if the reactant concentration is going to be high, then what is going to happen? This entire value will become low. इस पूरी वैल्यू को क्या हो जाएगा? लो हो जाएगा, क्योंकि इसकी वैल्यू नीचे वाले की हाई हो गई, पूरी वैल्यू कम हो जाएगी कि नहीं? और बेटा अगर मान लो इसकी वैल्यू लो हो गई तो इसकी वैल्यू क्या हो जाएगी? हाई हो जाएगी. So this means that K equilibria, when both these values are equal, then the reaction is at 0 equilibrium. Okay, when both the values are equal, the reaction will be at equilibrium. It will have a value of delta G equal to 0. Okay, when the value of A will be larger and B will be smaller, that means substrate will be larger and the product will be formed at a smaller concentration. Okay, then the reaction will proceed in a positive direction. That means from the product the substrate is being produced. A is large, A is larger than B. Okay, this is happening in this particular case. How can A be larger than B when B will be getting converted into A? And in the third case, the A is smaller than B. That means the A is getting converted into the B. That is, the reaction proceed in a forward direction. इसमें कोई डाउट है? देखो बेटा, प्रोसीड अगर रिएक्शन फॉरवर्ड डायरेक्शन में कन्वर्ट हो रही है तो ए बी में कन्वर्ट हो जाएगा. अगर रिएक्शन रिवर्स डायरेक्शन में चल रही है तो बी ए में कन्वर्ट हो जाएगा. और रिएक्शन अगर इक्विलिब्रियम पे है तो ए और बी रिमेन्स इक्वल. If the reaction is at equilibrium, the A and B will remain equal to each other. Any doubt? Any problem? Any doubt? Any problem by anyone? Please ask me. Now see this. I have told you, under the biological world, in the biological system, in the biological world, when you calculate the value of delta G, now see this. This is del G naught. What is this del G naught? Del G naught refers to the changes in the Gibbs free energy in the biological world. Okay, because in the biological world, the pH is not 7. See this, it is written here. So the standard free energy change calculating then the biochemical conversion is equivalent to 7. Under biochemical conversion, del G naught is symbolized as del G naught dash. And likewise, biochemical equilibrium constant is represented by the formula that will become minus 2.303 RT log K equilibrium. In K equilibrium will also a dash will be added to the K equilibrium. Okay, so this is delta G naught dash changes, standard changes in Gibbs free energy under biological conditions. So standard changes in Gibbs free energy under biological condition is being calculated by using this particular formula. This is the formula used for calculating the standard Gibbs free energy change under biological conditions. Okay, so there you get it. If the concentration of the two becomes equal, del G equals to del G naught. So standard free energy change is the change in free energy when product and reactant are present in unit concentration. When the product and the reactant are present at unit concentration 1, 1, then the value of delta G will become equivalent to del G naught. These are certain mathematical derivations. They are of no use. Questions have not been asked. Now, which type of questions have been asked from this particular topic? That we must understand. Now, supposingly, this is a question. There is a glucose molecule and it is converting into glucose 6-phosphate. Can you tell me which type of a reaction this is? Glucose molecule getting converted into glucose 6-phosphate. कौन सी reaction है? जिससे पूछूंगा वो बताएगा. Which is this type of a reaction? So I am going to ask, who I am going to ask? Trishla, which is this type of a reaction? कौन सा reaction है ये? Spontaneous है, non-spontaneous है? Like glucose is getting converted into glucose 6-phosphate. Trishla, which is this type of a reaction? Okay, someone is asking, answering. Non-spontaneous.
So non-spontaneous.
Okay, thank you. Everybody must write which is this type of a reaction, spontaneous or non-spontaneous. Aanchal, Chavi, Likhita, Neetu, Shalu, Priyanshi. Please do write the answer. Which is this type of a reaction, spontaneous or non-spontaneous? सभी लोग लिखेंगे. Okay, okay, okay. Anybody else? Anybody else? I'm looking for a correct answer. Anybody else? Trishla has written, Achal has written, Priyanshi has written, Likhita has written coupling reaction. What is coupling reaction, Priyanshi? Non-spontaneous reaction. Now see this. What is the non-spontaneous reaction? A non-spontaneous reaction is the one. So your all of your answers are wrong. Please look here. If this reaction will have been non-spontaneous, that means ATP will have been consumed. But there is no consumption of ATP. There is no consumption of ATP. So it is not a non-spontaneous reaction. Achal Shukla, Chavi, spontaneous reactions. Spontaneous reaction. Oh, good, good, good. Your answers are also wrong. Completely wrong. Okay? This is not even a spontaneous reaction. This is not a spontaneous, neither a non-spontaneous reaction. Because see, what is going to happen? This is the reaction which is present at equilibrium. There is neither a release of ATP. क्या ATP निकला? Do ATP was being produced? No. No ATP produced. Okay. Do ATP was consumed? No ATP was consumed. So this is a reaction which is present at equilibrium. So all of your answers were wrong. Can't you understand this out? Priyanshi, what was the problem with this particular question? Can't you understand this out? That there is no ATP being released or there is no ATP which is being utilized, then this reaction will be at equilibrium. What's the problem? What's the issue? Likhita, Why you are not able to answer? Trishla, what's the problem? मेरे को बताओ तो सही भाई, ये प्रॉब्लम आ रहा है ना, तो ATP निकल रहा है ना ATP लग रहा है. So this reaction will be at spontaneous, will be at equilibrium. Reaction is at equilibrium. What is the problem? Reaction is at equilibrium. Okay, equilibrium.
Sir, Trishla
Yes,
this side.
yes.
सर आपने बताया था ना कि ये जो रिएक्शंस होते हैं ना सारे नॉन स्पॉन्टेनियस होते हैं क्योंकि वो अपने आप हो जाते हैं, तो इसको फिर इक्विलिब्रियम क्यों बोलेंगे?
भाई कोई भी रिएक्शन नॉन, मैंने कब बोला कि सारे रिएक्शन नॉन स्पॉन्टेनियस होते हैं? सी रिएक्शंस कैन बी ऑफ थ्री डिफरेंट टाइप्स: spontaneous, non-spontaneous, or at equilibrium. A reaction that occurs by itself is spontaneous reaction. A reaction that do not occurs by itself is non-spontaneous reaction.
बट सर ये तो अपने आप होता है ना, ग्लूकोज 1 फॉस्फेट का कन्वर्जन.
हाँ, तो ये कौन सी रिएक्शन हो गई? इक्विलिब्रियम पे हो तो वही. See what you are saying, Trishla. Okay. See.
आई एम सेइंग आपने बोला बायोलॉजिकल वर्ल्ड में सारे रिएक्शंस अपने आप होते हैं, तो वो नॉन स्पॉन्टेनियस
इसने बोला ये कब बोला मैंने? I have not said like that. Do I have said this? Now see, in the biological world, see this. Glucose.
Okay.
Just let us take some very basic example. Okay. Let me take a very basic example. At least you must understand what I am teaching. Please do listen to the things that I would be telling you. Okay. Now this is, you have destroyed certain things. Oh my dear, I will have to open Pathfinder now. Just a second.
Okay.
Do not leave the class. I'm opening Pathfinder in order to show you something. Just 1 minute. I will have to move to a chapter that is referred to as cellular respiration and move to the reaction of glycolysis. You can all move to the reaction of glycolysis in your chapter, probably, if I could find it. Where I will get it. Just a second. Cellular respiration 201. Okay, I got it. Probably I am able to get this one. Okay. I'm just sharing another screen with you all. Okay. Are you able to visualize Pathfinder in front of you? Are you all able to visualize Pathfinder?
Sir.
Hello. Pathfinder वाली किताब सबको दिख रही है, नहीं दिख रही है? Are you able to visualize Pathfinder or not? Nobody is writing. Nobody is speaking anything. Yes. Okay, Likhita. Now see this. This is what is given in cellular respiration. Okay, this is what I have taught you. This is gives free energy. Now listen here. In the biological world, the reactions that are going to take place are of several different types. Probably if I'm going to reach cellular respiration. Okay, see this. Now there is no difference in between the reactions that takes place outside the body and the reactions that takes place inside the body. Okay, the only significant difference is that inside the body there are ATP molecules which are available. Okay, so you look at this particular reaction, glucose getting converted into glucose 6 phosphate. Trishla, are you there? Trishla?
Yes, sir, I'm here.
Okay, so the conversion of glucose to glucose 6 phosphate. Look here, the value of delta G is given minus 16.7. So this is a spontaneous reaction or a non-spontaneous reaction? Anyone? Hello Trishla, where are you? This is a spontaneous reaction or this is a non-spontaneous reaction? अरे भैया, ये
नॉन स्पॉन्टेनियस
है कि नॉन स्पॉन्टेनियस रिएक्शन है? कोई कुछ बोलेगा? Trishla?
Yes, sir. Sir, it is non-spontaneous.
It is a non-spontaneous reaction. It has been made spontaneous by the expense of ATP. Okay? Do you got something? See this. This reaction. Now see, listen to me. Listen to me what I am saying. Now Trishla went to a market and brought a packet of Glucon D. Okay? Glucon D. Having glucose D. Now Trishla is running with this packet all over her home. Do this molecule will get converted to glucose 6 phosphate. त्रिशला, अगर आप ग्लूकोन डी का एक डिब्बा ले आई हो और पूरे घर में भागो लेके इन्हें, तो क्या ग्लूकोज 6 फॉस्फेट बनेगा? नहीं बनेगा बेटा,
No,
नहीं
sir.
बनेगा, because this is a non-spontaneous reaction. Such type of reaction takes place in our body at the expense of ATP. You convert a non-spontaneous reaction into a spontaneous reaction at the expense of ATP. That is why this combined reaction at the expense of ATP has a value of delta G equal to minus 16.7. ये रिएक्शन डेल्टा जी के वैल्यू माइनस 16 कब आई? जब एटीपी खर्च किए. एक्चुअल में इस रिएक्शन के अंदर जब एटीपी भी नहीं होगा, एटीपी एडीपी नहीं होगा, when the ATP and ADP will be absent, the value of delta G for this reaction will be equal to plus 16. But due to expenditure of ATP, the value has come out to be minus 16. Otherwise कितना होगा? Plus 14. क्योंकि ATP का वैल्यू कितना था? 30 था. ATP
30.
value was 30.
Yes.
So at the expense of ATP molecule, this reaction becomes spontaneous. So you got one thing, that not all the reactions in the biological world are spontaneous. In fact, majority of the reactions in the biological world are at equilibrium. Majority of the reactions will be at equilibrium, and some of the reactions will be at away from equilibrium. There are all the three different types of reactions occurs in the biological world. Okay. Sir, non-spontaneous reaction, sir, I did not understand. Likita, in the case of a non-spontaneous reaction, for example, Likita, where are you? Please just open your mic first.
Sir, it's delta G negative is spontaneous reaction. No, so you're saying that it's a non-spontaneous.
See, listen, Likita, listen this very carefully. This is what I am teaching you. See, in the absence of ATP molecule, when there would have been no ATP molecule, okay? Now look at this reaction. Glucose getting converted into glucose 6 phosphate, okay?
Okay.
Do this reaction can occur spontaneously?
No.
Because if you would have taken a box filled of, a packet filled of glucon D to your home, after placing this packet for half an hour, it will get converted into glucose 6 phosphate. What do you think?
No, it won't convert.
It won't convert. So this is a non-spontaneous reaction. Now see what happens in the biological world. So actually, beta, this reaction has a delta G value equal to plus 14. Okay. Now in the biological world, what our biological world do? In the biological world, we take ATP molecule. We gives ATP molecules to such type of reaction and makes the entire reaction spontaneous. You convert a non-spontaneous reaction into a spontaneous reaction. Hello?
Okay, sir, okay.
This is how the things are being done. Now you move to a government office and the person is not willing to work. What do you give to that particular person? You just give him 500 rupees. He will do the work super fast. This is what is going to happen. ATP molecules are being given and making the non-spontaneous reaction look like a completely spontaneous reaction. You got it?
Okay, sir, okay.
Trishla, is this clear to you? Trishla? Where is Trishla?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do this is clear to every student or not?
And sir, one more question. जैसे भी यहाँ पे डेल्टा जी नॉट 30 से कम है, तो ये जो फर्स्ट स्टेप है ये स्लो प्रोसेस होगा, right?
No. Why? This would be a slow process. First, see this. In the first step, ATP is being utilized. Okay, ATP is being utilized. Okay, so this whether it is a spontaneous process. In the case of this is a non-spontaneous process, so this would be a slow step. लेकिन minus 16 की वजह से slow नहीं होगा. This is not because of the value of minus 16 or minus 18 or minus 20. Say if this value would have been minus 25, what effect it will produce? This will become faster as compared to minus 16. Okay, and if this will have a value of minus 10, it will be a bit slower. This is the thing that is going to be produced. Okay, Trishla?
Okay. ओके सर।
माइनस की वैल्यूज से ज्यादा फर्क नहीं पड़ने वाला, आपको ये समझना पड़ेगा whether the reaction is spontaneous or whether the reaction is non-spontaneous. So see, do this is very clear to you that this reaction was non-spontaneous, was made spontaneous at the expense of ATP molecules. Okay.
Okay sir.
Now listen to me, this is very important. Now there was a molecule. Okay. There was any molecule in your class, you provide gift to that particular molecule in order to convert the non-spontaneous reaction into spontaneous. This is what is going to happen. Okay, so this is how at the expense of ATP, even a non-spontaneous reaction is getting converted into spontaneous. Now look here, glucose 6 phosphate getting converted into fructose 6 phosphate. Now I will ask another student, Shalu, glucose 6 phosphate getting converted into fructose 6 phosphate, which is this type of a reaction? Shalu, नीतू, which is this type of a reaction? कौन सी रिएक्शन है ये? शालू कहाँ है? नीतू कहाँ है? गायब हो गए तुम दोनों. Where are you? Now, okay, I will ask Aanchal. Aanchal, which type of reaction this is? Conversion of glucose 6 phosphate to fructose 6 phosphate.
सर इक्विलिब्रियम, इसमें कोई भी एटीपी और एडीपी यूज नहीं हो रही है ना.
So what is this type of reaction? It is spontaneous or non-spontaneous?
Spontaneous sir.
अरे this is
Sir,
at equilibrium. At equilibrium
होनी
बेटा.
चाहिए.
अरे क्या प्रॉब्लम है? You look here, non-spontaneous. Learn, sir. I did not understand equilibrium reaction. Okay, this is at equilibrium. लिखा. This is what we are going to talk. Now see, शालू आपने गलत आंसर दिया था. नीतू आपने किसने गलत दिया है? जो जिसने गलत दिया है वो मेरे साथ में बात करे. शालू शायद आपने गलत आंसर दिया है. हेलो.
Yes sir.
Okay, so remain in the I'm saying the answer. Okay, now see, this second reaction is at equilibrium because see, the substrate can get converted into product as well as the product can also get converted into substrate molecule. There is neither an expense of energy nor there is utilization of energy. So this is the reaction that is present at equilibrium. Okay, the person is at equilibrium because the substrate is getting converted into product at the same rate at which the product is getting converted into substrate. शालू, सबस्ट्रेट और प्रोडक्ट की कंसंट्रेशन बराबर रहेगी. ठीक है बेटा, तो इसीलिए ये रिएक्शन क्या है? इक्विलिब्रियम पे है. एनी डाउट शालू?
No sir, हो गया क्लियर.
ओके,
आ गया सर.
हाँ, that is why see this, the value of delta G is almost equivalent to 0. Likita, so you are providing me the answer. Non-spontaneous reaction. Sir, I did not understand equilibrium reaction. I am saying the answer. So Likita, are you able to understand this reaction or are you able to understand it clearly? Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm able to understand, but a small doubt. So
Yeah.
why this equilibrium reaction delta G is 0, but they have given that positive 1.7?
Yes, they have given that positive 1.7, but see this, this value is almost equivalent to 0. Whenever the value is up till 8 or 10, we will consider it equivalent to 0. Why? Because there is a negative value of minus 16. So that minus 16 will compensate for any value which would be of plus 8 or plus 10. Likita, I have already told you in that example, in the example of that gear, when there was a spontaneous reaction taking place, then the other reaction which was non-spontaneous was also taking place. Now this reaction at the expense of ATP is now a spontaneous reaction, beta. As is at the expense of ATP, this has become a spontaneous reaction. So this will also catalyze the other reaction to take place. Okay. Hello.
Oh, okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay. Now see this. Now I will ask another student. Aanchal. Aanchal, are you there in the class?
Yes, sir.
Aanchal.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Aanchal. Now listen. What is this reaction? Reaction catalyzed by phosphofructokinase. This is a spontaneous reaction or non-spontaneous reaction? This is a spontaneous or a non-spontaneous reaction. First, tell me in the absence of ATP and then tell me in the presence of ATP. Beta, in the absence of ATP, what is this type of a reaction?
सर नॉन स्पॉन्टेनियस हो जाएगा.
Yes, and in the presence of ATP, this reaction will become spontaneous. Actually, this one was also a non-spontaneous reaction, but it was made spontaneous at the expense of ATP molecule. ATP खर्च करके हमने non-spontaneous reaction को क्या बना दिया? Spontaneous बना दिया. See, a very important point. Whenever you are going to add a phosphate molecule to the reaction will be always a non-spontaneous reaction made spontaneous at the expense of ATP molecule. जब भी किसी भी ग्रुप में आप phosphate molecule को ऐड करेंगे, see in glucose there was no phosphate, then you converted this glucose molecule into glucose 6 phosphate. Then what happened? You have added a phosphate, you will spend an ATP. You have added another phosphate, you will spend another ATP. So this is the entire concept of delta G reactions, the spontaneous, non-spontaneous, and the reaction at equilibrium. So I'm able to make you understand about spontaneous reactions, okay, non-spontaneous reactions, and the third type of reactions that are present at equilibrium. Okay, now looking at the last reaction of this particular pathway, you can look at the last reaction of this particular pathway. Just a second. See this, just rubbing everything out. Look here, you will be looking at this particular reaction, okay, at the last reaction. Now what is going to happen in this particular reaction? Who will tell me the answer? Whether this reaction is spontaneous, non-spontaneous, or this reaction is present at equilibrium. Who is remaining? Okay, Priyanshi. Okay, this reaction is spontaneous or non-spontaneous or present at equilibrium?
So spontaneous.
Yes, this reaction is a spontaneous reaction because this is a reaction in which the energy is going to be produced. See the value of delta G, minus 62.8. And here the ATP molecules will be produced spontaneously. That is why it is a spontaneous reaction. Okay. Hello, are you able to understand all these concepts? अब किसी को नहीं समझ में आया हो तो वो मुझसे पूछ सकता है, सर मुझे स्पॉन्टेनियस, नॉन स्पॉन्टेनियस या इक्विलिब्रियम नहीं समझ में आया. भाई सभी को समझ में आ गया? Everybody was able to understand it out?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sir, I have another question. Trishla this side.
Okay. Yes.
सर ये जो इक्विलिब्रियम वाले रिएक्शन वाला स्टेप है उसमें हम ये इक्विलिब्रियम कांस्टेंट को भी कैलकुलेट करेंगे?
इक्विलिब्रियम देखो बेटा, हाँ ये और बड़ा इंपॉर्टेंट है. ठीक है त्रिशला, जस्ट नाउ लिसन टू मी. नाउ सी डियर ऑल स्टूडेंट्स, supposedly this is a reaction that is taking place. A is getting converted into B. B is in equilibrium with C, and C is getting converted into D. Okay. This is an ATP dependent reaction. ATP is being consumed. In the last reaction, ATP is being produced. Okay. So see, if I am taking 4 molecules of A, then what will happen? This 4 molecule of A will get converted into 4 molecules of B. Okay. Because this is reaction at equilibrium, so you will never get 4 molecules of C. What will happen with this is the B and C are at equilibrium. That means 2 molecules of B will get converted into 2 molecules of C. And now these 2 molecules of C will get converted into 2 molecules of D. Okay. When the D molecules will be removed, then what will happen? Again, another B molecule will get converted into C, and C molecule will get converted into D, and D will be removed. What I am going to tell you here is that please do not get confused with the reactions which are present at equilibrium. Equilibrium does not mean that always the back product will be formed or the front product will not be produced. If you are going to remove the final product, then what will happen? The equilibrium will shift towards the final product. अगर आखिरी वाले प्रोडक्ट को बाहर निकाल लोगे ना बेटा, तो इक्विलिब्रियम फॉरवर्ड डायरेक्शन की फॉर्म में चला जाएगा. If you are going to remove the final product of the reaction, then the equilibrium will shift towards the forward direction and the molecules will be getting converted into the forward direction. Yes, Trishla, of course you are going to calculate the K equilibrium because the value of the concentration of the substrate and the concentration of the substrate and that of the product are going to change with each and every minute, because this product will be converted into another molecule, and this is a spontaneous reaction. So ultimately there would be a flux that would be produced in this particular direction. क्योंकि देखिए हिंदी में भी समझ लीजिए, क्योंकि प्रोडक्ट लगातार कंज्यूम होता जा रहा है और ये कहां जा रहा है, माइटोकॉन्ड्रिया के पास में चलता चले जा रहा है, तो बेटा फॉस्फोइनोल पायरुवेट लगातार पायरुवेट में कन्वर्ट होगा। और ऑल्दो ये रिएक्शन इक्विलिब्रियम में है, लेकिन इक्विलिब्रियम से होने से कुछ नहीं होगा, क्योंकि बार बार फॉस्फोइनोल पायरुवेट खत्म होता चला जा रहा है ना, तो 2 फॉस्फोग्लिसरेट फॉस्फोइनोल पायरुवेट में हर एक बार बदलता चला जाएगा। इसीलिए आपको के इक्विलिब्रिया बार बार कैलकुलेट करना पड़ेगा। एनी डाउट? त्रिशला?
नो सर।
आर यू एबल टू अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट आई वाज टेलिंग यू? ये समझ में आया आपको?
यस सर, मुझे आ गया समझ में। सर जैसे यहाँ पे बुक में ये दिया हुआ है ना, दिस इक्वेशन अलाउज सम सिंपल प्रेडिक्शंस, तो यहाँ पे इक्विलिब्रिया कांस्टेंट की जो ये वैल्यूज दी हुई है मोर देन 1.01 एंड लेस देन 1.0, तो इस रिएक्शन के टर्म्स में क्या होंगी ये वैल्यूज?
फॉर द इक्विलिब्रियम,
यस सर।
for the equilibrium, you look here, I've changed the sheet. मैं अब दूसरी किताब मतलब शेयरिंग कर दिया है मैंने आपको। I've shared the PDF with you all, the notes PDF. See what is going to happen. K equilibria for a reaction which is at equilibrium is equal to 1. See, K equilibria is beta theoretical value. This would be equal to 1. That means the substrate and the product will be theoretically equal to each other. But when you are going to consume the product, then the substrate will again and again get converted into product. Product जो बना था उसे आप निकालते चले जा रहे हो ना बाहर रिएक्शन में से, तो सबस्ट्रेट प्रोडक्ट के अंदर लगातार कन्वर्ट होता जाएगा। इसी तरीके की तो बायोकेमिकल रिएक्शन चलती हैं। अदरवाइज इफ यू विल थिंक लाइक दिस, that if a reaction is at equilibrium it will not move, then the entire biochemical pathway will crush. No reaction will move forward. Glycolysis ही नहीं होगा, and you are going to die off in a fraction of a second, because glycolysis is essentially required. So all the three different types of, first, Trishla, you were saying one thing which is very absolutely wrong. There are all the three different types of biochemical pathways, whether it is spontaneous, whether it is non-spontaneous, whether it is reaction at equilibrium. All these three type of reaction takes place in our body at every second. Okay?
ओके।
तीनों तरीके की रिएक्शन होती है। अभी आपने देख ली ना बेटा तीनों रिएक्शन, स्पॉन्टेनियस भी दिखा दिया तुम्हें, नॉन स्पॉन्टेनियस भी, और इक्विलिब्रियम वाली रिएक्शन भी तुम्हें दिखा दी। ठीक है, तो ये होती है आपकी डेल्टा जी की वैल्यू। दिस इज हाउ द डेल्टा जी वैल्यू इज बीइंग ओरिएंटेड। नाउ सी, दिस इज अ क्वेश्चन व्हिच इज बीइंग गिवन इन व्हिच द इक्विलिब्रियम कांस्टेंट, नाउ सी दिस, although this reaction should be present at equilibrium, but now in the given question it is given, क्वेश्चन के अंदर दे रखा है, मैं नहीं बोल रहा हूं। इन द बायोलॉजिकल वर्ल्ड दिस रिएक्शन इज आल्सो प्रेजेंट एट इक्विलिब्रियम, बिकॉज़ नीदर द एटीपी इज यूज्ड नीदर प्रोड्यूस्ड। नाउ इन दिस रिएक्शन व्हाट इज बीइंग टोल्ड दैट glucose 6 phosphate is present at 19 molar millimole and glucose 1 phosphate at 1 millimole. Then you have to calculate the value of delta G, and by calculation you calculate this value of delta G to be equal to minus 7.3. So by calculation you will say that the reaction is at spontaneous. देखो वैल्यू देगा आपको क्वेश्चन में, certain values will be given in to you in the question, and on the basis of those values you will have to tabulate, calculate the value of delta G. So would you be able to calculate the value of delta G? Okay, क्या कैलकुलेट कर पाएंगे आप लोग वैल्यू ऑफ डेल्टा जी जब क्वेश्चन आएगा? तो मैं उम्मीद करता हूं कि फॉर्मूलेस को यूज करके आप क्वेश्चन को सॉल्व कर पाएंगे। Now in your notes there are questions which are also given. For example, there is a question which is given. This is a question which is being given to you. You must solve this particular question. Okay, just a second. Now delta G, a standard free energy change for two consecutive reactions, are additive. That means if there is a reaction which is taking, A is getting converted into B, B is getting converted into C. The first reaction has a value of delta G naught dash or 1. Another has a value of delta G naught dash 2. Then the value of delta G for a conversion of A to C will be equal to total del G naught dash equal to del G naught dash 1 plus del G naught dash 2. So in the biochemical reactions, how many delta G naught will be added in the glycolysis? In the case of glycolysis, there are 10 steps which are involved. So all the different delta G naught dash from 1 to 10 will be added together in order to find whether the glycolysis is a spontaneous process or it is a non-spontaneous reaction. Glycolysis बेटा 2 स्टेप की रिएक्शन है, ग्लाइकोलाइसिस 10 स्टेप की रिएक्शन है, तो इसमें 10 स्टेप को आपको ऐड करना पड़ेगा. You will have to add all the 10 steps in order to predict the reaction mechanics. Okay. So this is how delta G equation is always additive in nature. You must add the value of delta G. Okay. Now free energy change for ATP molecule. Okay, we will start from the free energy change for ATP molecule tomorrow, as this class will be very long, and so tomorrow this chapter will be finished. It is hardly a 2-page chapter that is remaining, 1 and a 2 page. Okay, so that's all for today. Tomorrow also we will be meeting at 7:30 only, and I would be taking some long classes so that we can finish the syllabus on time. Okay, so that's all for today. Hope you all enjoyed the lecture. If you have any query, you can ask me. Okay, Achal, कुछ समझ में आ रहा है? Were you able to understand something? Likhita, you got something out of this lecture? Neetu, Priyanshi, Shalu, Trishla. If you are not able to understand anything, you just send me a WhatsApp. Okay, and if you are able to understand,
Okay, sir.
okay, beta. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Okay, so that's all for today.
Sir, all clear. Thank you, sir.
Okay, beta. We'll meet tomorrow at the same time, 7:30. Bye.
Bye, sir.
Bye.
Bye.